SAP's vision for DS Group. Please welcome Mr. Abhishek Sahi, Senior Director, Customer Advisory, SAP India, to present on the following topic. And he's going to share SAP's vision for AI-powered business transformation and the future roadmap for DS Group. Let's welcome Mr. Abhishek Sahi.
All right. I don't think I need to introduce this gentleman. I think everybody knows it. And I know I was talking about 2029. Let me take you back to 1929. So this is a story of Albert Einstein, who was in Cambridge giving a lecture. And just like all professors, was extremely proud. He had given a very tough exam to his students. And according to him, it was a tough exam. And then his assistant walked up to him and said, Sir, the questions that you've given were absolutely same as you gave last year. So why do you think it's a tough exam? And Einstein in his own way said that the questions always remain the same, it's the answers that change. And if you look at technology and businesses, the questions will always be the same. Even if 100 years from now, we are celebrating 200 years of DS Group, I'm sure the questions will still be, as the previous gentleman also showcased, that what would we be known for? Even 200 years from now, the same question will remain. Even 200 years from now, the question will be, how can we be more profitable? I don't think we'll ever say that हम profit कम ले लेते हैं, या फिर we'll ever say that let's not go into other products, let's not move into other geographies. So the questions will always remain the same, the answers will differ. In today's world, the answer is AI. For everything, the answer is AI. SAP is no different, our answer is also AI. So, but I just wanted to kind of talk about the synergies that the DS Group has with SAP. All right, so let me tell you in terms of what is the new that SAP is offering. You know, as I mentioned, SAP is a technology company, we are an innovative company. So every 4 or 5 years, we come up with a new innovation. We believe that the next level of innovation is going to be autonomous enterprise. I know our previous speakers talked a lot about security, a lot about data, a lot about automation, a lot about generation. So we also believe the same thing as well. And I'll kind of give you a glimpse in terms of how SAP is helping redefine certain processes or redefine processes as well as industries, and specifically what we'll do for DS Group. Okay, so what exactly is, or why do we need it to take out an autonomous enterprise? Autonomous enterprise is a framework that SAP offers in terms of how customers can now leverage their processes a lot better. One of the Achilles heels of SAP had always been that we always had a great product. We always had a product which had a lot of industry depth, which had a lot of process depth. But we were never able to explore the depth. Why? Just like the previous esteemed speaker was saying, that there were so many ERP projects which kind of were just looking at a very superficial digitization. We believe that in an autonomous enterprise, the agents itself will be able to explore the depths of SAP as a product. And that's going to be the game changer, because whatever product innovation that we are doing now, that can be implemented, that can be consumed by the agents itself. So there is no motivation in terms of an implementation partner or as an end user not to use that particular functionality. I believe that that's going to be the best, probably, innovation that SAP has ever taken out. And the reason why I believe that why AI has not been able to work till now are the ones that I'll just talk about. Okay, as the slide is coming, one of my previous speakers spoke about the MIT study. There are so many studies that have showed that the AI projects have not really seen the light of day. And the reason for this are the three which I'm going to talk about. Can you click once more, please? आगे. आप पीछे जा रहे हैं, आगे जाइए. Yes, that's it. So the three reasons is, one is around lack of business process context. As I told you about, many a times when people are experimenting with AI, they will say कि हम आपका data लेंगे, हम एक LLM model में डालेंगे, and then हम उसके ऊपर insights करेंगे. And there is a huge problem in that. And the huge problem in the AI world is called as ontology. Ontology means how one data point is connected to the other data point. My previous speaker talked about training of AI models. AI models का जब हम train करते हैं, so we teach the AI models in terms of how connections are built. Because once the LLM model predicts the next course of action, they should already have that connectivity as a context. That is called as ontology. That ontology is something that is simply missing if I look at the enterprise as a whole, per se. Because enterprise में सिर्फ ERP नहीं चलता, you will have a customer experience platform, you might have a supply chain platform, you might have a vendor collaboration platform. You're going to have so many platforms all across. There is not a single layer which kind of connects all these things together. It is ERP according to me, but then we don't live in an ideal world. Many customers use many solutions like that. But the problem of why AI is not working is because there is lack of business process or context. That connection between various data points is generally missing. Second is around lack of data connectivity and integration, which is again a offshoot of what I just spoke about. And the third one is, I think he just clicked now. So the third one is around governance security. I think a lot was discussed in the previous session as well. Just imagine, and many a times, some of our customers challenge us many a times that DeepSeek ne open AI platform निकाल दिया, SAP क्यों नहीं निकाल देता open AI platform? And my answer to that is very simple, that if I walk into your office, can I just walk into your office just like that? I can't. I'm coming from SAP. I'm a professional. I have so many years of experience, but I still can't just walk up to you. I will have to come on a gate. I'll have to register myself. I'll have to show my Aadhaar card. I'll have to wait in the lobby. Then somebody will come out from inside from the office, will escort me to a meeting room. Then that person will come. Mera laptop ka jo serial number hai, that gets lost. Same thing that happened at this gate as well. I can't just walk into an office. Just like this data, what you have in your ERP or on any SAP platform is data which is auditable. This is the data which is compliant. This is the data that holds all your secrets in terms or a competitive advantage, in terms of pricing, in terms of your customer relationships, in terms of your suppliers, in terms of your trade pricing. Everything is there in that data. That data is worth in gold. And we believe that one of the critical aspects of AI failures is also lack of governance and reliability. So if I look at agents, right, again, one of the questions that are asked to me every day is in terms of कि सर हम LLM क्यों नहीं आप हम बाकी भी तो LLM use कर सकते हैं. What is so special about SAP LLMs? Why should we go with SAP LLMs? And if you see, broadly हम 5 चीजें ही करते हैं. हम पहले data का access लेते हैं. Then we ask the model to reason and predict the action. Third is then whatever action that has to be taken has to be written back into the execution system, which generally is an ERP system. Third is that once a data has been written for a particular process, then allied processes which are more downstream in nature have to be orchestrated, they have to be invoked. A typical example could be आपने make to order sales order बनाया, उसके लिए आपने फिर procurement करा, उसके लिए आपने manufacturing करी, फिर stock आया, फिर आपने goods receive production से करा, then आपने goods issue warehouse से करा, and finally invoice आया. So multiple processes have to be orchestrated. And finally, as I talked about, governance होती है कि who is able to access what in the particular process. यही 5 चीजें generally मोटी-मोटी होती हैं. Now, where is SAP different compared to the rest of LLMs? Can you please click? So the first is around data access. We maintain business integrity. So our platforms ensure that the connection of each and every data is maintained. Again, the caveat being not within the 4 walls of your organization, but if you have data which is outside your 4 walls, that connectivity also gets maintained. Because we believe that the nerve center of the organization will be the ERP, जहाँ पे आपका execution होता है. So if you look at a custom LLM, you will have to firstly build a data pipeline. You have to export all that data out. You will then have to feed all of that to an LLM. That LLM will then burn tokens in terms of making those connections first. Those, according to me, are irrelevant because SAP already has those connections there in the system. It's available anyways in there with you right now also, if you look at your ERP system. Second is around reasoning and prediction. When you put a query in LLM, जो token पहले बोले गए थे, so LLMs were made to do unstructured data prediction. आप उस पर text डालते हैं. The text gets broken into multiple pieces, and based on the learning of that LLM, a next prediction or third or whatever third word, fourth or fifth word needs to come, then that comes. That is an LLM way of working, of how to deconstruct an English sentence or whatever natural language that you are conversing with. SAP's LLM is different. We have an LLM which is called as RPT, which is made in terms of reasoning on numbers, on that connectivity. That कौन सा production order किस planned order से connected है, कौन सा production order में कौन सी production strategy has been used. That connectivity is something that on which we can predict. And it's a very different way of prediction. It's a prediction which is based on columnar data, not on text orientation. So while the user interface can be text, behind the scenes, these tables are invoked, and the next level of output is generally generated. Indu? This one, yeah. So then it's around ERP write back. Prediction makes no sense in a business environment. if you're not able to take actions. अगर आप system से पूछ रहे हैं that based on past history, what discount I need to offer to this supply or to this, let's say, distributor, then that pricing, that discount has to be put in the system as form of in the sales order itself. That's an action that you need to take. That action is what we call as an ERP write back and authorization. So just imagine if you have an LLM. Firstly, आपको उस LLM को आपको at an L4, L5 level, you'll have to integrate to your ERP. That in itself, I can explain to you, is extremely tedious because you as a group will not be just working on one transaction or two transactions. There will be thousands of transactions that will be running every single day. To have an integration of an LLM to something which is as complex to your business within your ERP is a nightmarish activity. Can it be done? Of course, technically it's possible, but we don't tell you to do that. Then it's around multi-agent orchestration. Because of our semantically rich data, we know exactly what will follow what. That is based on your configuration, that is based on your workflows that you developed, that is based on your processes that are implemented. So we exactly know that once an order gets created, what will be the next process that needs to be invoked. And when we say autonomous enterprise, what we are kind of saying is that when the write back happens, then agents, downstream agents then take that process seamlessly, and then they orchestrate the process on their own itself. And the human in the loop comes when an intervention is needed, or just like my previous speaker said, when a decision needs to be made. And finally, it's around governance. We are complied by certain compliances, be it SOC 2 from an Indian perspective, whether it's GXP from a pharmaceutical perspective. We are compliant by those GDPR rules and all those compliances activities. I'm really not sure what about LLM could really be. Many a times, SAP as such, also internally for this presentation, even I have used AI. But I have used the SAP's AI because I know that whatever data I put stays within that premise. It's not being shared, or we are not training other LLMs for it. So we take pride in that governance as well as compliance. Next slide, please. Okay, so our definition in terms of what an autonomous enterprise has these 5 broad layers. First is the Joule layer. I think many of you would be knowing this Joule layer by now. This is our chatbot, or this is our single point of entry to all SAP solutions right now. There is no SAP solution right now which doesn't come with Joule. We have 5,000 odd products. As I said, we are a company which prides itself in providing products across industries and processes. Every product right now is coming with Joule. So because we believe that customers, users do not need to rectify, do not need to mug all the processes, all the transactions. Simple natural language processing, say you can invoke particular action. Then comes the autonomous suite. Autonomous suite is nothing but a gamut of agents that we have all across business process, be it supply chain, finance, procurement, human resources, customer experience. So we have bots all across it. That is grounded on something which is called as industry AI. Like I said, SAP prides itself not only in terms of process depth, but also industry width. We are supporting 25 industries, right? And industries like sports and entertainment as well. So there are various nuances in all of these industries. So the AI that we take out, the agents that we take out has nuances in terms of what AI will be able to do. We know what a batch will mean differently to something like DS Group compared to something like pharma company. Batches to dono mein ban rahe hain, I'm sure. But the batch definition will be significantly different between the two. Now, this is a nuance that we as industry, in our industry AI, we would have coded that with us. Then the business AI platform. Business AI platform is the last layer what you see. Knowledge graph, what you see over here is nothing but the ontology layer that I talked about. It is based on 2-3 things. One is that you can build your own innovations. So the new way of SAP engaging with a customer is that we will come to you, just like I think in the previous speaker also was talking about something which is called as AI workshop. When we also come to you now, we do something which is called as AIDW, which is AI Discovery Workshop, which has nothing to do with technology. It has everything to do with your business. So you tell us in terms of a business problem that you have. For example, there is again, I won't be able to name that customer, so there is a very big retailer in India. They are facing a problem in terms of procurement costs. They procure thousands of crores of products every day. And many a times they have been given guidances in terms of what product that they need to order. So they wanted to have an intervention in when a purchase order is getting created that based on the forecasting, based on the system analysis, ideally he shouldn't be ordering that much product. He should be ordering either more or either less depending on the intelligence by the engine. If the person, overrides that, then that logging happens and email goes, and then finally at the month end, then based on the log, then a particular person can be contacted. Now this was the AI discovery use case that we came up with. We prototyped that AI discovery case in 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes, not 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 30 minutes. And that was possible through our build platform. It is called as Joule Work. And in that platform, all you need to do is just put a query. And it invokes the knowledge graph, because that knowledge graph will know that अगर आप purchase order create करेंगे तो क्या क्या चीजें connected होंगी. It pulled all of that, and I think somebody was talking about logging initially. You can see side by side what's the log, what are the data points they're invoking, what is the mock data. You can see the log in front of your eyes as to how they're building a product. That was made in 30 minutes. Of course, that's not a productive prototype, but just imagine the velocity of conversations that we are having with our customers now. The customer is now demanding that from us, that can you give me the solution quickly? So build platform is used for that. Contextual and reasoning are the LLMs, the RPT ones that I talked about. We also, by the way, leverage LLMs of other chatbots as well. OpenAI, Claude, we also have partnerships with them. We can also leverage those LLMs. But we believe that our RPT 1.5 is good enough in terms of predicting as to what the next course of action could be. And finally is the governance layer that I talked about. Moving ahead. So these are few AI business cases that we thought will be relevant for DS Group. This is around finance collection. I think one person was talking about finance over there. Then compliance and fraud. So this is something that's called as business integrity screening. So this is an AI use case where, let's say, if somebody is ordering or once an invoice is being posted, then the AI agent actually looks at the bank account. If that bank account is of the supplier under which the payment has been done in past, if it's not, then a flag gets raised, and that's one of the cases for business integrity screening. Then you have things like natural language processing around daily sales outstanding. I think the previous speaker was talking about OEEE, equipment effectiveness. That is part of the maintenance planning agent. So we have agents running all across your processes. So right now, only the imagination is limitation. SAP as a product is not a limitation anymore in terms of building an AI case is the message that I want to give you. So this is my last slide. So I promise that it's going to be a short slide. So this is my last slide as to what is our definition of an autonomous enterprise. We would want your people to really work on things that really matter, not to just punch sales order or punch purchase orders. We would want them to really understand why, if a purchase order has been raised for a supplier, other supplier could have been contacted, which probably has better credentials. If you are coordinating or if you are raising a sales order to a distributor, are you looking at the right pricing, or are there any additional discounting that you're giving? We would want your people to work on more strategic aspects so that they also feel empowered that they are using SAP. Your business responds much before, because now with AI, you are able to understand, the system is able to provide interventions on their own. And finally, you are able to move fast. The entire throughput of the organization increases. And that is the end goal. That's the pot of gold that we would want DS Group to have for the next 100 odd years. So with that, I will say thank you very much for your time. Hopeful that this would have been useful.